The Mighty Franks by Michael Frank. Read for you by the author. Omnia mutantur nihil interret. Everything changes. Nothing is lost. Ovid, Metamorphoses. Overheard. My feeling for Mike is something out of the ordinary. I overhear my aunt say to my mother one day when I'm 8 years old. It's stronger than I am. I cannot explain it. He's simply the most marvelous child I have ever known, and I love him beyond life itself. Beyond life itself. At first, I feel lucky to be so cherished, singled out to receive a love that is so vast, but then I stop to think about it. I am not sure what it means really to be loved beyond life itself. Do I love my own mother that way? Does she me? Is such a thing even possible? And why me and not my 2 younger brothers? What do I have that they do not? I wish he were mine, my aunt blurts after a moment. From where I am crouching on the stairs in the entry hall, I can feel the weather in the room change. A long, tense pause opens up between the 2 women. I hear them breathing back and forth into that pause. They are sitting at right angles to each other, I know, my aunt on the sofa, my mother in the chair next to it. This is how they always sit in our living room, not face to face, but perpendicular, so that they don't have to make eye contact if they don't want to. I wish you had a child of your own, my mother says carefully. Ever the second fiddle, the third born, the diplomat. So do I, says my aunt, in a pitched, emotional voice. Maybe you would be a different person if you did. My mother does not say this. She thinks it, though. Everybody in our family does. But that's not what happened. This is. Part 1. Chapter 1. The Apartment. For a long time I used to wait in the dining room window. I waited in the afternoon, when I returned from school, and I waited on Saturday mornings. Now and then I waited at the edge of the driveway, because from there I could see farther up the hill, almost to the top. When the Buick Riviera appeared, its fender flashing a big, toothy metallic grin, I felt happiness wash over me, happiness braided together with anticipation and excitement too, since it meant that within minutes my aunt would be pulling up to take me on one of our adventures. My aunt was the one person in the world I was always most eager to see. Sometimes she came bearing gifts, special books or treasures related to the special interests she and my uncle and I shared. Art and architecture, literature, and, since my aunt and uncle were screenwriters, movies, never film. That was the celluloid of which movies were made. But what I loved even more than receiving tangible things was going off with her, alone, without my younger brothers or my parents, being alone with her, with the force of her attention, the contents of her mind, and her talk, which was like an unending river emptying itself into me. Our time together was larky. You really are the best company a person could ever hope for, Mike, she said, bar none. She made me feel clever merely by being with her and listening to her, learning what she had to teach, absorbing some of her spark, her sparkle. My aunt and I went off alone together often because she and my uncle didn't have any children of their own, and they lived within minutes of our house, and because we were doubly related. There was a refrain we children learned to recite when people asked us to explain our intertwined family. Brother and sister married sister and brother. The older couple have no children, so the younger couple share theirs. The 2 families live within 3 blocks of each other up in Laurel Canyon, and the grandmothers live in an apartment together at the foot of the hill. It wasn't very poetic, but it got the facts across and made the situation seem almost normal, as summaries sometimes do. The situation was not remotely normal, but naturally I did not understand that at the time. Our relationship, my aunt said, was special. She called our 2 families the Larky Sevensome, or, quoting my grandmother, the Mighty Franks. But even within the larger group, she said, you and I, Lovey, are a thing apart. What we have is nearly as unusual as what I have with Mama. The 2 of us have pulled our wagons up to a secret campsite. We know how lucky we are. We're the most fortunate people in the world to have found each other, isn't it so? Only we hadn't found each other. We had been born to each other.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?